Ready? Out of order. Now Sylva for commissioners meeting. First thing on our agenda is to approve the agenda. I didn't find a motion. We do that. Motion. Have any discussion? On the vote, raise hand, say aye. Aye. Opposed by like sign, motion carries. Also entertain a motion to approve consent agenda. Motion. Motion, we have any discussion? Favor raise your hand, say aye. Aye. All opposed by like sign, the motion carries. We have one person that's new signed up to speak. What about Brett?
Thanks. Good morning, everybody. Yes, my name is Nelia Waldrop, resident of Sylva on Ridgeway Street. And I wanted to briefly just bring some things forth just because I wanted them to be on record as a stated concern, or whatever. But first of all, just really quickly, Brad had brought up the possibility that we would no longer have representation on the library board. That is being discussed. I know that decision is being made very quickly, but I would really encourage there to be some push to make sure that there is some representation on that library board. Obviously recognizing it's Jackson County Library, but it sits right there, and it feels very much like what happens there is a reflection of Sylva. And so it just seems like that's an important piece to not just let go. Secondly, very quickly, I wanted to just bring up the fact that there is a sudden appearance of new surveillance cameras in town. And I'm not excited about that. Don't really know where they came from. If it's law enforcement, if it is Lowe's who's decided they need additional surveillance. They're also up and down Blossom, Cowie on the way to Whittier. And obviously we are only have anything to do with town limits. But again, I just want it to be on record that that's on radar. We're on radar, but that there is some opportunity for the board to at least have a conversation about that and make some forward-thinking decisions about, do we want that? Do we not want that? Do our constituents want that? Does anybody get consent? And then finally, as a way to maintain cohesion with our surrounding communities, our neighboring communities, also the possibility of having some conversation about the issues of data centers. Went to a meeting back in February in Canton, had a fabulous informative session, lots of pros and cons presented. It was just a very good, broad presentation. They have gone ahead and done that moratorium. I'm sure everyone knows that. Swain has, the BCI has, and we have shared water resources. We have shared air resources. We have shared tourist resources. Being a united front with that issue, I think is going to be really important and not really to be delayed. So I just would like to encourage some conversation with you guys about these things.
Thank you. Okay. That moves us on to reports. Only thing I have to report is I got a call from a citizen concerned about the additional traffic on Second Avenue. There's quite a bit more. And some of it's younger and a little faster than what it used to be through the years. So I asked DOT, the traffic engineer, to come out, meet with us, look out there, make a recommendation, because it's an area that never had any signage before at all. They made a recommendation, and I forwarded that on to Jake, and he's going to take care of that. Not anything that needs any kind of board approval or anything, just to make you aware that the citizen did call, and we've responded in the best way we do that. Moving on, Brett.
Yeah, I just want to take a minute and thank everyone who came to our last meeting and then today for participating in public comment. Kind of struck by how the contrast between spending our time maybe not arguing or debating over something that somebody said on the internet last night who doesn't even know or care that we exist. The contrast between that and getting involved in local matters and actually making a difference. It's pretty striking when I observe what happened at our last meeting and the fact that people have been participating in public comment. I just want to point out that actually matters, as opposed to some other things that we try to do, all well intended, but to participate civically, getting involved locally actually has an impact, and you can see it sometimes nearly in real time. And to me, that's rewarding, and I want to thank everybody who participates in that way.
I absolutely agree. Yes. Please.
I just wanted to thank our local police department for cracking down on the drugs in town. They got a good program going on, and K-9 unit. A lot about it in the paper. Also the county sheriff's department too is really cracking down methamphetamines, the hard drugs. I appreciate it.
I just want to send thanks out to the gentleman I saw on Memorial Day. I was just leaving work, and as I was walking down Main Street, I was seeing a bunch of people taking down the flags and going to be a part of that. And just how many people there were and faces I hadn't seen was really impressive. All taking care of that for Memorial Day and honoring that holiday. I just wanted to send a thank you to all of those wonderful strangers.
Okay. Well, that moves us on to our manager's report.
Good morning. Please remember to come back at 5:30 tonight for the public hearing on the budget. I've not received any comments so far from the public. The inspection for the new trail for the RTP trail at Pinnacle Park went very well last week. Our grant representative was really impressed with the trail construction, the quality, and the drainage that was installed. Employee Wellness Fair is June the 4th from 7 to 9 a.m. And for our Scotts Creek Wall update, we have a new FEMA program manager. Our public assistance application is still in the queue in the environmental and hazard mitigation review phase, but engineering on the wall is still progressing. And permanent sinks at Poteet Park should be delivered and installed at the end of this week. That's all I have.
Thank you.
That's all normal process on the wall, like nothing. Okay. It just sounds like a continuation of.
It's a continuation of a government shutdown and a revolving door of FEMA representatives so then there's some catch up and.
Okay, yeah.
I'm up to.
I admit, I just, having not been through the process before, I just think it's, I want to make sure I understand that we're moving normally and that the public does too, because it kind of, you're a new person.
Been through the process either, but the North Carolina Emergency Management contact is sort of the person that holds our hand and kind of is the back and forth between that the town as the applicant and FEMA. So that's very helpful since they've been through it.
And they're indicating this is all pretty standard fare. Okay.
And the engineering has proceeded, so once we catch up in the FEMA queue, we'll still be ready. So it isn't really holding back the progress of the project.
Gotcha.
It's time.
Public Works.
Good morning, everyone. Due to multiple large leaks, the fountain is currently shut down at the bottom of the courthouse stairs. I don't know if y'all noticed that. We'll be working with Jackson County to coordinate a repair option, and we'll keep y'all in the loop. But it will be closed until at least July, after the July 4th holiday, till we get into the new fiscal year, so that we don't have an active job site during any of our holiday stuff. Paige and I have had a follow-up meeting with SNME to discuss the Fisher Creek Dam. They're speaking on our behalf with the DEQ to make sure that any repair measures that are made up there will get that dam declassified as high risk, which is it's currently classified as high risk. And that isn't necessarily a function of the condition of the dam as much as the downstream flood modeling. Residences and structures that are downstream of that dam impact that as much as the dam construction itself. So that is ongoing, and as we get more answers from SNME and North Carolina DEQ, we'll be presenting y'all with some options up there. So stay tuned. McAdams Engineering is working to develop preliminary engineering report for the Bricks Lot Stormwater Project. We'll update the board with that project as it progresses, but it is moving along as well. I reported this to Joe at his request, but I wanted to give all of the whole board this information. Professor On from Western, her air quality students, they took 2 samples at Bryson Park, or a bunch of samples on 2 different occasions at Bryson Park for air quality. They were measuring carbon monoxide, hydrogen sulfide, nitrogen dioxide, as well as for any unknown volatile chemicals and particulate matter size. All results showed concentrations of these compounds below the EPA regulatory threshold. So we got a clean bill of health, so to speak, on our air quality at that place. And I think with future classes, she's going to do the same thing at different locations around town. Public Works is still advertising for a temporary maintenance technician position. That vacancy is open. Any questions?
Will they provide us, or will they provide publicly information about any trends in that air quality data?
I think once that data set is established, they'll be happy to publish that. I have it, I can send it. Joe asked for it specifically, so I sent those results to him. I'm happy to send them to the rest of the board as well.
I'd just be as interested in a benchmark as the EPA standards, because I would assume those are non-localized.
I mean, the EPA being a federal agency, I would think that would be a federal standard.
Right, but you get what I'm saying. So if the benchmark is everywhere, I would expect us to have here with less, theoretically less, direct air pollution, maybe a localized cleaner air, but it'd be interesting to see how we do over time.
Yes, for sure. And I'll share those, share those results as the data set establishes.
Thank you. That's cool that that's happening.
Oh, Jake, I think it's important to publicly say this, in the report about the Fish Creek dam up there. You can correct me if I'm wrong, because I may be. I think we have lowered the water levels to reduce any risk to below for the time.
But there is currently zero risk because there's zero water in the reservoir.
Okay.
And that was at the recommendation of the DEQ Dam Safety Office.
Yes, on video, I wanted to make sure people knew that we've done everything we can to reduce the risk for people below until the corrections are made.
That's accurate, yeah.
Did we cancel the rain too? Was that us to make sure it didn't fill back?
We needed that rain.
I know.
Okay, thank you, Jack. Police Department.
Morning, everybody. This is Amy's first morning board meeting since taking over as chief. So I'm going to do the report this morning and give her a chance to kind of see how this works before she gets her go at it. Last month we had 826 calls for service, kind of a breakdown of those. 136 traffic stops. We investigated 52 traffic crashes, including one that's happened. 18 reckless drivers. We also performed 55 business checks, 90 park patrols, and that's between all 3 of the parks. And then conducted 69 follow-up investigations. And we had 9 misdemeanor arrests and 11 felony arrests and 140 canine deployments. Let me back up on that a second. The canine deployments were from the first of the year. It lets me break up reports like ever so often. So 140 canine deployments between both dogs for the year. So we're on track with that to have about 100 deployments per dog per year, which is significant for a town our size. And as Commissioner Estridge mentioned, we did have several significant drug trafficking arrests. One of those for crack cocaine, one of those for methamphetamine, both of them trafficking level charges. One came out of a canine sniff. So our dogs are doing good work. Starting to see an increase in complaints about parking, specifically downtown, in the downtown ordinance. So we want to see an increase in enforcement on Main Street with parking coming up soon. Staffing wise, we've got 2 positions posted for patrol and currently taking applications for those. We've got a few, but as you've heard us say in here before, we're not hiring just anybody. So it's not anybody that we're really interested in hiring. So we're going to wait for the right person to fill those. Any questions?
On those business checks, just generally, what should a business expect to occur during those? And also the time, I realize that you probably don't have a strict schedule that you're sticking to, but like, what is the expectation?
Yeah, usually night shift does a lot of those. And it can be all over town, but certainly downtown a lot. We'll go around the business, check for any signs of entry, unlock doors. We find a fair amount of doors unlocked, surprisingly. And then generally they'll get we've got little business cards made that says that, hey, Sylva PD was here and we checked your business, and found everything good. And we'll stick those kind of in the slot of the door somewhere that the business owner will find when they come in the next morning.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you. I'm assuming our fire chief is fighting fire right now.
Dealing with the big truck on the other side of the hill there.
So we'll forego the fire department. We have a Main Street report.
Good morning. I know we've talked a little bit about greening up the mountains, but we have a few statistics for you. Even though it rained most of the day, our crowd numbers were between 5,000 and 7,500. We will actually confirm that. The TDA provides some heat map data for us, and it'll be coming out in the next few days. So I'll get those statistics to you. We did notice that people came early, they stayed longer as opposed to other years. And the vendors all reported that they did really well. So we were really excited. So I just wanted to thank all the great vendors, the volunteers, all of you, all of our staff who worked tirelessly to get this going, and our directors, Mark and Tammy Haskett, and our volunteer coordinator who stepped in at the last minute, Donna Reynolds. It really does take a village to pull this off. So I wanted to thank everyone publicly. Our county economic development partners wanted to supplement our business support programs with a few different events this year. And so we've hosted several of them already, but the last one we hosted was a women's networking breakfast at Southwestern Community College, led by our Small Business Center Director, Marty Harris. We had over 200 women there. It was absolutely fantastic. We had a great speaker, great panelists. Everyone reported that they want to do it again, that it was inspiring and informational. And yes, we did allow some men to attend who wanted to and who were kind of supporting the network. So we plan on doing this again next year in the fall. So a lot of these events are going to recur and provide extra support to our small businesses. And last week we kicked off Concerts on the Creek series. And although it rained, many people stayed and embraced it. So concerts are Friday nights from Memorial Day to Labor Day at Bridge Park from 7 to 9. They're free. There are food vendors and beverage vendors there as well. And one more thing as part of that, the business support tonight is the Young Professionals meeting at Peak Pizza in Cullowhee at 5 o'clock. So it's free for anyone. You guys are invited as well. If you'd like to attend that, it's just good networking and cultivating our young professionals and entrepreneurs. And you don't have to be all that young to attend. I'll be young. So do you guys have any questions?
Good, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We have a planning board report.
I will say that planning board typically does not meet in June and July unless there's something urgent, because it's so difficult to get a quorum in the summertime. Another thing that's impacting the planning board is legislature enacted as part of the omnibus bill, a downzoning restriction last session saying that towns and counties cannot make restrictions more than what they have in their current ordinance without unanimous support of property owners that would be impacted. So that limit, and while the legislature is working to fix that legislation, it really limits what planning boards what towns and counties and their advisory boards can do. right now. So there are fewer meetings till, unless there's something that really comes up.
Would that affect the data center consideration?
It
Like, I hear that language and I'm like, how would you get all the
depends on how
neighbors? It's like,
interpreted and enacted.
yeah, that's what I was wondering.
All right, is there a Watson report?
Yes, so TWASA passed their budget and their capital project ordinance at their last meeting. The Clearwell project in Cullowhee is wrapping up, hopes to have the punch list completed by mid-June. The wastewater treatment plant number 2, is the underground work is continuing. That's all I have for TWASA.
Okay. Benefit Park?
I think I covered that in my manager's report, sorry. But the next step for Cardiff will be to develop the request for proposals for the contractor.
All right, so that moves us on to new business. First thing on the agenda in new business is Historical Preservation Committee appointment. This is a county board that the town has an appointment to. Luther Jones had previously served for many years, did a fine job, and he's has to be replaced. He's formally given a letter of resignation, and our present board member, Sam McGuire, is an Appalachian historian his own self, and he has agreed to accept that appointment. So I would entertain a motion that would appoint Sam to that board.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have anything else to talk about with that?
Seems like a no-brainer given Sam's background.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's volunteering. I would actually say it's a no-brainer even if he didn't volunteer, but I'm glad he did volunteer.
Yeah, we could just force it to do it, you know.
He's not here, yeah.
All in favor, raise your hand. All opposed by like sign, motion carries. And, we also have resolution authorizing the town manager to execute the contract for this piece of real property out here. I think everybody's got the details on that. It's on the back page of your agenda. It was negotiated down to a little more reasonable price. We've previously discussed. I've entertained a motion that we approve that. I'll make that. Have a motion. Have any discussion? All in favor, raise your hand, side. All opposed by like sign, motion carries. And at this point in time, the numbers to read out.
Second page. Top of that second page.
There we go. Son to GS 143-318- no, Roman numeral 2, I guess, A and 5. I would entertain a motion that we go into closed session.
I'll make that motion.
Have a motion, have any discussion? All in favor, raise your hand, side. Opposed by like sign, we're now in closed session, so anyone who's a board member or a town employee, please excuse